All right, we're here with Jack Fields, our winner this year at the Columbia Open, presented by Groucho's Deli. Rounds of 67, 62, 72, 67, 19 under total, and a one-shot victory over three different players. Your first pro win, and kind of an up-and-down week. You open with 67, 62, grab a share of the lead, get off to a hot start on Friday's third round, 3 under, extend the lead to your first 3 holes. Then kind of have a little bit of a collapse at the end of the day, 4 bogeys in a row, and a lot of people would struggle to come back from that. You come out today, you have the early eagle at 3, and take off for a great final round comeback.
Absolutely. It was, yesterday was an interesting round. I was playing just solid golf all day, I was 4 under through 11 holes and had about a 3-footer for birdie to get 5 under on 12 and missed it, and it kind of just started unraveling from there. I 3-putted 14. Bogeyed 15, from the middle of the fairway on a par 5 is not very good, and bogeyed 16, 3-putted 17, and it was rough. But I lost a little bit of energy out there yesterday. I wasn't really staying hydrated and eating enough, so I think I learned from that and was able to make some changes today, and came out like you said and started off great today, and made solid pars at 1 and 2, and then hit a great 7-iron from about 195 on 3 there to about 6 feet and knocked it in. So that was a great way to get the round started.
Were you doing a lot of scoreboard watching out there?
I was. A lot of people say they don't watch scoreboards, but I don't mind looking at it. I want to know where I stand, and I like to, know if I need to make birdies or know if I can play a little bit more conservative. But at the end of the day, I wanted to be pretty aggressive because it's a golf course where birdies are, you're making a lot of birdies out there. And so I knew that no matter where I stood or how far ahead I was, I still needed to make birdies because you never know when the guys behind you are going to keep making them.
Talk about the eagle on 12. It seemed like a pretty crowded leaderboard, and then you eagle 12. Take the lead, and all of a sudden you kind of held that lead for the last 6-7 holes.
Absolutely. That was we were standing up there on 12T, and we finally got a little crosswind instead of back into the wind, and I was able to just absolutely rip a drive and gave myself about 258 hole there and hit the 3-wood right in the knuckles, and I looked up and it was right at it, and I said, well, be the one. And it was. So I was able to knock in that 6-footer, and then glanced over at the leaderboard and saw that I'd just taken a 1-shot lead, and I knew that if I came down and had to birdie the par 5, knew I needed to birdie 15 and make some solid pars, and I think that I would have a chance. And I was playing with Drew, and Drew was just making birdies left and right on me, So I knew that there was a lot of birdies out there, but I just kind of kept playing my own game, and I was able to get it in.
You mentioned getting that birdie at 15. That took you to 9 under. 16, 17, 18, not the easiest holes, especially 17, the par 3. Talk about that finishing stretch.
Absolutely. 16 is a weird tee shot. It doesn't really set up for me. I feel like it's more of a drawer's tee shot, even though it kind of is a left to right hole. But I was able to hit a good drive there, and I hit a great 7-iron just right over the flagstick and got up there. It was about 35 feet past, 40 feet past, and ended up making another 8-footer there for par, which was huge for my confidence, and then hit it in the middle of the green on 17. Great 2-putt there up the hill, and then 18. I was playing with Alan over there, and Alan teed off first and hit one about 40 yards out of bounds, and I'm thinking, as long as I don't do that, I should be all right. So I ended up hitting it a little bit left, trying to avoid the out of bounds, and didn't get the greatest break. I was kind of right behind a tree, but I was able to hook a gap wedge up there behind the green and kind of two putt from there for the win.
We talked earlier, you got a little bit aggressive on your birdie putt from that back fringe rough area. Ran about 4.5 feet by. That was a little more than you wanted.
Oh, that was a lot more than I wanted. It was a tough putt coming down the hill, and I had to go through about 8 feet of fringe, so it wasn't the easiest up and down in the world, but I got it down there to about 4.5, 5 feet, and like I said all week, I've been really solid from 4 to 6 feet, and I think that's the thing that's really kept my rounds going and helped me make a lot of birdies. And I just stood over the putt. I was a little bit nervous, but I knew I had to make it to win, and I was able to knock it right in the center.
Played a few years at Chapel Hill. You won the State Am, you won the Carolinas Am, you won the Carolinas Open. Last summer, you won the North-South prestigious amateur title. first professional win, though, what does this do for you going forward?
Man, it feels good. It feels really good. It's I started off the year. I was struggling, and I felt good about my game, but my scores weren't really showing the work that I've been putting in and how confident I was in what I was doing. But I was able to. I had some good weeks in recent weeks and played well down at St. James and had a chance to win there. But I didn't play great in the final round.
Right.
But this week was just huge for my confidence. I mean, I hit it great all week, putted fantastic. So finally just go ahead and get the monkey off my back early, which is feels pretty nice.
You said you spent this winter practicing and playing with Webb Simpson, sometimes with Johnson Wagner, guys out of Quill Hollow where you work. Anything you've taken from that going forward? Obviously, you mentioned short game this week. You spent a lot of time admiring, so to speak, their short game in the off season.
Absolutely. I mean, those two guys, if you look at the statistics on the PGA Tour, they're two of the best. And to be able to see them every day working hard on their short game, they're not up there beating drivers for 2 hours. They're over on the chipping green or on the putting green.
Right.
And it really just shows you what it takes out there, because the ball striking, everybody that plays out here is, ball striking it as well as guys on tour. I mean, maybe not as well as the greatest ball strikers, but I think that it really shows you watching those guys that from 50 yards in, I mean, they say 100 yards in, but really from 50 yards in, those guys are just unbelievable. And getting to play with Webb a lot is really shows you what it takes, because he doesn't hit the ball as great as some of the guys do, but man, he just knows how to get the ball in the hole.
Yeah.
And it's fun to watch sometimes. So
Cool.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Hey, I really appreciate it.